Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how you can prepare your images for your website to get the best speed, best efficiency. Often when we look at websites and people are complaining that they're slow, one of the reasons, most often the reason, is that the images on there are just way too big. So what we're going to do today is look at the best way to sort that out. There's a number of reasons why they're so big. Often we're taking pictures with digital camera, or we're using download services and they're giving us really high resolution images that we can use, and that's great, but mostly they're way too big for websites. So let's have a look at how we can do this. So the first thing I'm going to do, sorry I should have cancelled that, is I use a free online image editor which is Pixlr, pixlr.com. I use this these days a lot rather than firing up Photoshop, so you don't have to have any specialist knowledge. I'll talk you through the really easy things you need to do. It's a very powerful program, but for what we need we're just going to use a small part of that. So let's open up an image. The image I'm going to use is this giraffe. Now you'll see that I've got two side by side. There's a giraffe.jpg and I've got a giraffe.png. I'm going to use this one simply because that allows me to talk about image file types as well. And the reason that you would want to use a PNG file is if you wanted a transparent background, and that's pretty much the only reason why you would want it. So in a little while when we save it, we're going to save it as a different file format, because simply doing that will make the file size much smaller. Because what happens is that websites are very clever, and they, no matter what size image you put in, it will resize it in the browser down to the size that you want on the site. The problem is that it's still having to download that big image and then resize it. So what we want to do is minimize that as much as possible. Now you can see here in the bottom left hand corner it's telling us that this image is 3267 pixels by 2178 pixels, and that is way too big. Even if I wanted a big image at the top of my website, the biggest image I'm going to need is about 2000 pixels. And typically for blog images and things like that, social media images, we need something that's much smaller. So I'm going up here to image and image size. There you go, those are the details. I'm going to make sure that this one is ticked so that when I change the width or the height, the other one will change in proportion and not get distorted. And I'm going to go for a width of 500, which is plenty big enough for any website. You can probably even take it down to say 300 if you just want an image in a blog post, but 500 is fine. So we go OK to that. And just to confirm, down here you can see those are the image sizes. We can make that a bit bigger. Oops, there we go. So what I want to do now is to save that, and just save it as it is. When I looked at the image before, it was about 17 meg, which is big image size. And this, even if I keep it as a PNG, because we've made the image physically smaller, it's down to 441 kilobytes, which is much better. But look what happens when I save it instead for a JPEG. Leave the quality as it is, 45. So it's 441, it's now 45, so a tenth pretty much of the size just by doing that. So by doing those two things, reducing the image size and changing the file type, we've reduced it probably by 100-fold. So I'm going to say, I'm going to just rename that. Reduced image size, just so we can look at it in a minute. I'll put it back into the same folder. Okay, now for most things that would be absolutely fine. That will do, that will make things faster on your website. But say you wanted to have a large image, you can't get over that. Maybe you need a transparent image. We can then use this service, which is kraken.io, that's kraken.io, and we're just going to use the free web interface. There is a limit on the size of the files, so that's why I couldn't take the original file. We have to reduce the size first. But I'm just going to take that image that I had, and it probably won't reduce it very much because it's already quite small. It's working on it. Let's see what it does. It's taking a little while to do that. It's taking a long time today. You can, if you've got a whole load of images, just upload the whole zip file and it will do them all like that. See, if you pay for it, you can also resize them at the same time, but I won't bother with that. It's taking a bit too long, so have another go at that, see what happens. It normally is pretty instant. So there you go, you can see now, there's the image, that's the original size and that's the new size. So it doesn't save very much, 5.5%. But every little helps, especially when you're doing lots and lots of images. If you've got particularly a shop and you've got lots of images in there, it all adds up to the file size. So then you can download it as normal. So we'll just right click on this and save. And I normally save it into a folder which is called reduced images. So I don't get confused. Save. And that's it. So when you put that on your website will be a lot faster than it would have been had we put up that huge image. Okay, I hope that helps. Any questions? Just put a question in the comment below.